everyone, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new here. My name is Sydney and I do all things decorating, and today's video is so exciting. I'm going to be showing you my first Christmas decorate with me for the Christmas season. I always put out my videos super early, so no need to comment that I'm super early. Actually, I'm planning on uploading this on Halloween, so if you're seeing this on Halloween, I'm really happy about that. It actually took me 3 days to decorate our front living room, and that actually is good because last year it took me 4. But without further ado, let's jump right in.
All right, friends, so to start with, I decided to take all the fall things down. Now you will notice that big hole on our mantle. That's just where our TV used to be hung, so we could put the wires through there. But that'll be covered with my pretty new artwork that I got from Hobby Lobby. I went ahead and just grabbed all the fall items and put them on the floor here, and then I went out to my shed and got one of my totes. So it was actually a goal of mine to get it all into one tote, and I was able to successfully do that. Something I love to do is save all of my Walmart bags, just any kind of shopping bag, and then when I put away my decorations, I'll just wrap class items in 1 or 2 bags, and it seems to work super well. So I don't know if that's a well-known thing, but that's just what I do. If you don't have tissue paper, just use Walmart bags, and then you're not being as wasteful. I always get questions on how I store all my decor because I do have a ton of it. I am kind of a maximalist, if that's the right word, when it comes to home decor. Especially with fall and Christmas. But my husband built a super nice storage unit out in our really big garage that we have built. So it's just really nice to store all of my seasonal totes. So I was basically able to put all that in one bin, and I'll just store this in with all my candles so it won't melt in our garage. And then these are just vases that I'll use for Christmas as well. I do need to store this one. This is a terracotta pot. But this, like all of this stuff will be reused. And then I have Christmas prints if I want to put them in these. Okay, so those hydrangeas shed so bad, and I definitely didn't want my cats to get into it. So I gave the floor a really good vacuum, even though the floor got filthy again when I brought out all the flocked items, the stems, the tree, everything. But I just gave everything a good wipe down and vacuum. This year, my front living room does look a little different from past years because now I have these 2 sitting chairs, so it gives me more space for decor as well. So I'm really excited about that. This is also the first year I didn't have my TV up on our mantle. So I was so excited to put this beautiful new Hobby Lobby art piece up here. I feel like ideally it would be wider. I love the height, but it wasn't as wide as I feel like it would look the best, but I'm still so happy that I got it. I went ahead and added these 2 garlands I got from Hobby Lobby. I just shared them in my recent haul video, and I love that they're pre-lit. And then to give them a little extra something, I added a ton of these picks that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I've been collecting these for like 3 or 4 years, maybe longer. So that just shows how nice and traditional these are. I feel like they never go out of style, and they just add more character to any kind of greenery. And of course, I love the red pop from the berries, and there's a little bit of berry in that wreath photo, so I feel like it just all blends really well. And then my husband came in all 3 days that I'm decorating here to say goodbye for lunch. But one thing I do really appreciate is my husband could care less that I'm putting all of this out. He really does not care, so I love that. Next, I'm adding these little ball stems that I recently picked up from Hobby Lobby. I love that they look like ornaments when they're in the wreaths, so that matches the red velvet ornaments I added to my Christmas tree that you'll be seeing. but I decided to just put them on the mantle part. I had them on the sides here, and I felt like I needed more for the sides, so I just ended up putting them just on the top.
Well, I'm all for Christmas. It's a magical time.
Next, I got these basic gold stocking holders, and I use these every year. I don't remember where I got them from. You can find these anywhere, but I put them here, and this is where I hang my Hobby Lobby stockings that I've also had for years and years, but they're the perfect colors, the black and linen color. And then on top, I'm putting the My Texas House bells. I just added both ribbons. I tied one ribbon through both bells so they'd be connected, and then I made a bow out of the other ribbon it came with so that it would match perfectly with the artwork.
May all your wishes tonight come true. Love.
Next, I added these candlestick holders. I actually painted them this gold color with a paint from Hobby Lobby called Pure Gold. I just love that color. And I added 3 candles that are the remote controlled candles. And you guys need to let me know if you would add 3 more candles to the other side. I'm just wondering if the stocking holders would get in the way. And I kind of like the look of them just on one side, but I would love to hear your opinion. Next, I decided to try out this Walmart garland. I did mess with it the other day and didn't like it. I messed with it again this day and still didn't like it. But this is how it would look. Let me know what you guys think. But I ended up changing it out. I could always use this on our bedroom mantle or in the back living room. But I did forget that I had this dainty gold garland and these little bells, and I believe this is from Target a couple years ago, but I was just happy to be able to use it again this year. I love when I can use old items. Okay, so I did just add these bells, and I think they add the perfect little touch. All right, so I had this centerpiece last year for our dining table, but this year I think I want to put it on the coffee table, and I did something similar for fall with a round centerpiece. Now this will look nice whenever I have my flocked tree in. I think so it matches well with the garland on the mantle. I'm gonna pull some of these big stems out, and I might add in some of this Norfolk style stem to see if I like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and play around. I feel like adding these other stems into this and removing some of the flocked ones made it look so much prettier. I'm so happy I thought of doing this because it really does just change up the piece, and I don't have to go out and buy another little faux floral to go on this coffee table. Like I said, I love being able to use old decor. Here it is. It's very big and poofy, but now it has some of the, I still need to mess with it a little bit. It has a lot of the same colors as the garland. So let me go ahead and put the candle on top. I shared that I use this book for my fall decorating, House of Flowers. I used it for spring, summer, and then I opened it up to autumn for fall. Then I saw that they had this really pretty photo that says winter. It has the Christmas tree and the wood burning stove. Now I have this here for now. I might change the book out and put this one in our back living room since our stove is back there. But for now, I think it looks pretty here. Regardless, I want a Christmas book opened for up here. Okay, so here is a look of the coffee table with the mantle. I think that may be all that I'm filming today, and then tomorrow I will get to the shelves. I need to go get my kids from school here in just a minute, so I'm gonna have to call it quits for today. But I absolutely love how the mantle came out, and I feel like I got so much done today. Hi friends, so it is actually the next day, and I went ahead and decided before I start decorating to give me some energy, I decided to make a coffee in my new mug. So pretty, from Marshall's with the bows, and my friend actually gifted this to me. But what's exciting for me, I usually drink black coffee, but when I was at the grocery store this morning, I saw that they had the holiday flavored creamers, and then they had the sweet foam. So I went ahead and made myself a nice sweet coffee at home, which I'm gonna try not to make this a habit because I'm very proud of myself that I started drinking black coffee since it's healthier.
but for today, while I decorate, I want to be able to have a fun drink. But anyways, so yesterday I did the mantle, the coffee table. Today I want to do the shelves, and then I also want to possibly put up the tree. Now it's a little tricky, it's already day 2, but every day I have a goal of walking 5 miles. I had to run to the grocery store, so I have to break this up into different days or it would just be crazy. But anyways, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the shelves and I'll show you what I come up with. What I decided to do on the shelf was to kind of mimic what I did for fall. So use all these antique books and some frames, but just switch out to Christmas, of course. And then where I had some hydrangeas in this bowl, I just switched out with some greenery, flocked greenery, pine cones, and bells. So I have little pops of red and pops of bells on both sides of the shelving. So all of these bells were from last year between Hobby Lobby and Amazon, and I have some bows just on a few of them from last year, and I'm just keeping them that way so it's not too many bows. I also have these red candlestick holders from Hobby Lobby, so I'm using that as a pop of red. I have these old like trumpet candle holders that I had from a thrift store, and then this, I believe I got this from Marshall's last year, but I just put one of these little dainty bows on it to give it a little something extra. Okay, now on this side, same thing, same books, a lot of the same items that I use for fall, like these vases from Hobby Lobby. I just think I'm gonna add these winter stems into one of them. Same thing with the frames, just have some Christmas photos in these that I've printed off from past years. These are from Pinterest that I found they were free downloads, and then I just printed them at Walgreens. Some more bells, and these ones have 2 bows. And then I have these little woven baskets that I had for fall, and I'm just gonna leave those out. And then here, I just found this little basket I thrifted, and I put some little bells as well as this big bell on this book. And then I also found these 2 pillows when I was digging out things out of storage. And so I don't know if I'll keep them this way, but I have this little holly pillow from Target last year, and then this ornament, gold and red ornament pillow from Marshall's.
I did notice when I'm editing this video that my lipstick is half gone because I was drinking that coffee, so don't mind that. But I just love how these shelves came out. I was really looking for a rustic look, and basically that's what I had for fall. And I just feel like the colors, it all goes really well, but it's still not too much. Let me know what you guys think.
Okay, so this is an overlook with the mantle and the side shelves. So I feel like if I went any crazier on the side shelves, it would just look too much. Now that I got the shelves done, I did start decorating in there, which I may get to today. Maybe add more pillows, but I am gonna start doing the Christmas tree.
So I had to end up speeding up this tree process because it took me a really long time. The tree was just giving me a hard time, and the lights on it, I could not find the attachments, so I just could not figure out how to get all the lights on. But this tree is actually from Walmart, and I had it in our bedroom last year. As I'm putting it out, it looks super white, super just flocked, so it doesn't look like it matches the mantle very well. But trust me, it ends up looking really good once I add in all of the picks, the berry picks with the greenery on it, all the ornaments. I feel like it ends up going really well, but just at first glance, I feel like it looks way too white.
Okay, I have Christmas music on. Let me turn it off so I don't get copyright. I went ahead and fluffed the tree. I also added in my own lights to the already lit tree. I like it to be really lit up. But I'm gonna go ahead and start adding in those stems from Hobby Lobby. I have a bunch of them. And then also, I don't think I mentioned, this tree is just from Walmart. I used this in our room last year.
Now, I know I'm not going with the popular trends. Everyone has just the, you know, the Norfolk style trees, but I'm still over here rocking the flock trees.
It's kind of crazy how much flocking I'm getting on my top. It's everywhere and it's itchy. It'll be worth it. I don't mind the mess. I'll just give everything a good vacuum when I'm done.
Now, I use this angel every single year. It's been years, and I don't want to change it up. I found this at Hobby Lobby, and I just think it works perfectly. And then I'm adding these ornaments I got from Dollar General last year, these red velvet ones. And I actually didn't end up using any of my new ones that I shared in my haul that I got from Walmart. So I plan on using all of those on our back living room tree. But I just think these balls tie in really well with the stems that I added to my mantle, as you can see. And then also I added in a few of these bells. I think I got these bells from Hobby Lobby last year. Next, I'm adding these little dainty bows. I found these at Joann's last year. They were just little pre-made bows. I also always add these little signs to the tree as well. They're just little Hobby Lobby wood signs, and then I added the wires to the back so I can put them in the tree as ornaments.
Okay friends, so I'm calling it quits for today. I wanted to share, I did add those little bows, and then I have some of these bigger bows throughout. So I'm gonna make this super pack. Glitter gold balls, just the bright colored ones. These are just from Walmart. Okay guys, so we are on day 3 of the decorating of our living room. Today I'm drinking another coffee. I have a little less cream in it this time because yesterday's was so sweet. But today I'm going to decorate my arched hutch, and then I'm also gonna put my pillows that I picked out on my bench, and I'm gonna switch out my fall tree. Okay, so these are the pillows I chose to use. These, I believe, are old Target pillows. This I got last year, I think at Marshall's. So I thought those tree pillows together looked nice. And then I have just this neutral pillow with this one from Target. This one is so pretty. I love that, and I used it all winter long last year. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put these on this bench. Okay, so this is the little corner here. And I don't think I finished showing you guys the Christmas tree, but I went ahead and added all my little signs, the Merry Christmas, and then I put the Happy Birthday Jesus there. And I just added a bunch of ornaments, and my kids added some ornaments last night too. Okay, and then hopping over, I found this blanket I forgot I had. And I don't remember where it's from. Was it from Target maybe? And then I have my other Target pillow from last year. And then I also decided to leave these chairs neutral. So all I have on here are these pillows from Marshall's. I just didn't want to do like the bright red and green because there's already so much going on. Sorry, I need to vacuum the floor, it's a mess. I have this little plant stand, but on top I have it, I kind of have this as like a little table for between these chairs. I just have this Walmart vase with 2 Target trees shoved in there.
So this year I wanted to do a little bit more of a theme, and I still don't know if I love what I came up with. I had these old houses that I actually used to put in my tree. So I know that sounds weird, but we had this old tree that had a bunch of like spaces in it. So I would add these little houses to it. Well, I wasn't using them, and I thought I could add them in here. So I kind of just went with like a black house and gold bell with red ribbon theme, I guess. But I have that Santa sign at the top too. I had this decorated like 3 or 4 different ways, and this is kind of where I landed. You can see the little spacings in the middle. That's just because I'm going to keep the door shut, and you won't be able to notice that spacing. But in person, you can really see the black houses, but I feel like it's not picking up as much on camera. I feel like the pops of gold and red go really well with the rest of the room. Okay, so I have stems and lights for the Christmas tree. That's gonna be going in place of this fall one that I DIY'd for fall, and I absolutely loved this tree. And it's just throwing off the whole look how we have this random fall tree in the entryway. Now this tree is just a tiny tree that my mom gave me a couple years ago, and the stems look very similar to those Hobby Lobby ones. This is actually from Hobby Lobby. So I recently bought a new tree from Walmart. It was like an $80 tall, slim, flocked tree, so it does match the big one that I just put up really well. I'm debating if I should switch out this tree with that one. It's still currently in our closet, and I got it for our bedroom, but this one looks kind of small here. Okay, so I forgot I already had lights on here from last year, so that's kind of nice. So I can use those extra ones for something else. But I just propped it in this basket here with a bunch of scarves. It was like a huge scarf that I cut into pieces, and I just stuffed it down in there to keep it secure. Now, something that I thought would be fun is if I quickly included some clips of the past years. Let me know which mantle was your favorite, but I do like to change up our mantle every year if I can, and I just love what I've come up with over the years. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for being here, for watching and supporting my channel. I really hope that you'll stick around and subscribe if you aren't already. It's totally free to do so, and then you won't miss out on any of my future Christmas decorating videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful and blessed day.